You've probably heard of the Amityville Horror. It's one of the most famous and bone-chilling ghost stories in American history. But what makes it so terrifying is that it's not just some campfire tale. It's tied to real-life events that have sparked debates for decades. Is it a true account of a demonic haunting, or just an elaborate hoax? Let's dive into the story that started it all. Our story begins in 1975, when the Lutz family, George, Kathy, and their 3 children moved into a beautiful, spacious Dutch colonial house in Amityville, New York. It seemed like the perfect family home, and they bought it for a surprisingly low price. They thought they'd found their dream home, a place to start a wonderful new life. What they didn't know was that they were stepping into a nightmare. Just a year before, this very house was the scene of a horrific crime. Ronald DeFeo Jr. had murdered his entire family, his parents, and 4 siblings while they slept in their beds. This dark history had left a stain on the house, an unseen presence that was about to make itself known to the new owners. The Lutz family was hoping for a fresh start, but their decision to move into 112 Ocean Avenue would unleash 28 days of pure terror. For the first few days, everything was normal. The family was busy unpacking and settling in, but soon, an unsettling feeling began to creep into the house. It started subtly, a feeling of being watched, a strange coldness in the air. Then, things started to get weird. Objects would move on their own. Doors would slam shut when no one was near them. They'd hear phantom footsteps walking through the house late at night. The family tried to rationalize it, but the strange occurrences only grew more intense. The house seemed to have a life of its own. They would hear strange noises, faint whispers, loud bangs, and even disembodied screams that would echo through the halls and then vanish without a trace. The temperature would drop suddenly in certain rooms, leaving them freezing cold even with the heating on full blast. It felt like an invisible force was playing games with them, turning their home into a house of horrors. George Lutz seemed to be the primary target of whatever was in the house. He started waking up every single night at 3:15 a.m., the exact time that DeFeo murders were believed to have taken place. His personality began to change drastically. He became moody, withdrawn, and constantly angry. Kathy grew increasingly worried. It was as if something was slowly taking over her husband, draining him of his energy and his very self. One night, George's fear became tangible. They saw a dark hooded figure standing in the hallway, just watching him. It didn't move, it didn't make a sound, but its presence was overwhelmingly real and terrifying. From that moment on, George never felt safe in his own home again. Kathy wasn't spared either. She would see doors open and close on their own. One time, she saw the apparition of an old man with a pale, gaunt face staring at her from the hallway before vanishing into thin air. She tried to tell herself it was just her imagination, a product of stress and fear. But deep down, she knew what she saw was real. She was starting to believe that their house was truly haunted by something malevolent. The children also began to experience terrifying events. Their son Danny claimed to have seen the same ghostly old man standing at the foot of his bed, staring at him silently in the middle of the night. He was so paralyzed with fear, he couldn't even scream. After that, Danny became quiet and withdrawn, constantly afraid to be alone. The trauma was real, and it was clear that the entire family was under attack. The fear in the house was escalating day by day. No one felt safe. They knew they were dealing with something far more dangerous than just a few strange noises. The final straw came when they discovered a secret room in the basement. It was a small, dark space, painted entirely in red, that wasn't on the house's blueprints. The air inside felt heavy and suffocating. Inside this red room, as they called it, they found strange symbols and inverted crosses, suggesting it had been used for some kind of dark ritual. This discovery confirmed their worst fears. They were convinced that an evil, demonic force had taken root in their home. The family was terrified for their lives and knew they couldn't stay there any longer. Desperate for help, they reached out to Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous paranormal investigators. The Warrens came to the house and immediately sensed a powerful, negative energy. Their investigation, which included a televised seance, concluded that the house was indeed the site of intense paranormal activity. They believed the Lutz family's story was absolutely true. However, not everyone was convinced. Skeptics came out in force, calling the whole story a complete fabrication. They argued that the family was simply trying to profit from the DeFeo tragedy. Some pointed to inconsistencies in their accounts, while others suggested the strange events could be explained by psychological stress from living in a known murder house. The debate between believers and skeptics raged on, and it continues to this day. The story really exploded into popular culture when Jay Anson's book, The Amityville Horror, a true story, was published. It became an instant bestseller, captivating and terrifying readers all over the world. The book's massive success led to the iconic 1979 film of the same name. The movie was a box office smash, cementing the Amityville legend in the public consciousness and spawning numerous sequels, remakes, and documentaries over the years. So what's the deal with the house today? It still stands at 112 Ocean Avenue, though the address has been changed to discourage tourists. Several families have lived there since the Lutzes fled. Some have reported no unusual activity at all, living perfectly normal lives. Others have been more tight-lipped, preferring not to talk about their experiences. The house itself has become a morbid landmark, a symbol of one of the greatest ghost stories ever told. Even after all these years, the mystery of Amityville endures. Paranormal researchers still visit the location, hoping to capture evidence of the haunting. Some claim to feel a lingering dark energy, while others find nothing at all. The conflicting accounts only add more layers to the enigma. Was the Lutz family genuinely tormented by a demonic entity, or was it an elaborate hoax designed for fame and fortune? Ultimately, we may never know the full truth. There's no definitive proof to settle the debate once and for all. But whether you believe it or not, the Amityville Horror has left a permanent mark on our culture. It's a story that taps into our deepest fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear that our homes might not be the safe havens we believe them to be. It's a legend that continues to haunt us, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are never meant to be solved. Thanks for watching. What do you think? Was the Amityville house really haunted? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.